So a couple of questions that kind of go together here is, so there's a lot of questions coming in on, I set my carnet up for X, but then Y happens. Maybe I need to add additional countries, or what if I need to sell the goods? So can you kind of talk through both of those scenarios? And then I guess the third scenario to kind of talk through is, maybe I have a carnet and I'm getting ready to go on a global trade show, and I might hit a dozen countries, but only half of those countries participate in the carnet program. Is that okay?
Okay, you might have to remind me as I go through answering. So number one, you obtain your ATA Carnet and you think you're only going to, say, Thailand, and you're not going anywhere else but Thailand. You come back to the US, but your Thai trip was such a great opportunity that now you really, the world has opened up and you want to go to South Korea and Australia. All you do is request additional sets and slip them into the Carnet. As long as it's the same goods listed on the Carnet, you can add countries and continue on the country travel. And to answer the second question about selling goods off an ATA Carnet, the ATA Carnet is intended for temporary importation, not for sale. That is the standard answer. And then the exception is absolutely, you can sell goods off an ATA Carnet. What you need to be aware of is, one, you're going to pay obviously the duty based on the HTS classification, the tax of that country, and then you're going to pay a 10% penalty. That 10% penalty is not the value of the goods. It's 10% of the sum of the duties and taxes. So the penalty ends up being a slap on the wrist for breaching the ATA Carnet. Each country has different procedures, or you just let it flow through the ATA Carnet Guarantee Association, where the chambers of commerce, like the council here in the United States, will handle it with, say, the Paris chamber, and they will settle it all with customs and then just send you an invoice. In those cases, I would advise that it be aware that they do have claims processing fees. Obviously, the chambers are going to charge that for being the middleman, but it all depends on the country. And I always say the relationship you have with customs in that country, you can settle it right there in country, or you can return to the US and let the Guarantee Association settle the claim for you. But always calculate duties plus tax plus the 10% of the duty and taxes penalties. Now, if you do this one too many times out of the same port, we have this with, there's a retail show, IJL, for jewelry in London. And Heathrow Customs picked up on a lot of jewelers from the US were using carnets to go to the retail show, 50-50 chance they sell anything. And they were selling, and it became too repetitive. And Heathrow Customs did call the council and say, look, guys, you need to get a leash on your jewelers. This is obviously exceeding the exceptions. But the whole point of ATA Carnet is to foster and grow trade. So if a sale is inevitable, there's no reason to stop the sale.